Oh, there's a bug. Get out. It won't leave. Okay, well, we're trying this again. Hello, everybody. We're gonna let people get in, but if you do not know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. I post all of my lives on YouTube, so if you are rewatching this on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe to me. We are back in the car. I feel like our car lives are very impactful, but we're talking about the live topic today is talking about breaking free from the cycle of the foods that are harming you, that are offing you and making you toxic, because it's time for you to heal. And so the title of this live is that you are afraid of true healing, because a lot of people they're afraid of true healing. They don't understand the fact that, like, their body is a healing vessel. One, the foods that you eat are determining if you're healing or you're harming yourself. And then they also don't realize the fact that, like, these systems that are outside of us, that are over our food regulation, that are over what we can, that are on our shelves, that we can access on our shelves, are all a part of the same marketing system of how much money can we make off of these people. That's the reason why they're projecting they can make $1 trillion off of you being overweight and diabetic, because they use a combination of unhealthy fats, sugars, and sodium in food to make you crave it more, not realize that you're full. Hold on, we're gonna wait for that plane to pass really quickly. Once that plane passes, we'll keep talking, because it's kind of loud, and I think it's interfering with my connection too, because this is the second time a plane has passed and the connection went bad. Okay, it's passed for the most part. And so you don't realize the fact that these foods are keeping you from the chemical balance that your brain is normally naturally supposed to have, and your brain doesn't even realize, hey, I'm full, I shouldn't be eating all of this crap. And so today we're here to emphasize the fact that, like, the foods that you're eating is making you toxic. I just recorded a video today. Yesterday I went to the grocery store, was looking for some chocolate chips, and I flipped over the chocolate chips because they say non-dairy. It's Ghirardelli, I think that's how you say the brand. Flipped it over because it was non-dairy. That's what it said on the front. So I'm looking to see what else was in there, how much cacao powder. It was only 53% cacao powder. So I was like, what is the other crap in here? Because 53% is not good. That's not high. You need at least 75 to 80. I really go for 85 to about 95% of cacao powder pure, because 53% is not a lot. I look down at the ingredients and it says may contain milk. It doesn't say almond milk. It doesn't say coconut milk. It doesn't say any alternative milk. And then it says manufactured in the same factory as dairy. So that's why I was like, okay, so how can you have on the front a non-dairy label, but you can put in there that it may contain dairy in it, and then it's also processed in the same factory as dairy? Like, you might as well just say it has dairy in it. Like, the non-dairy label is such a lie. These labels are such a lie. It's marketing. They're okay with lying to you because it's backed by the people who make these rules. That's the reason why that they don't care to fix the loopholes that allow them to do things like this. And so that's why I hone in and I tell you that these companies can legally lie to you, even though it's not right. Legal and lawful are two different things. Just because by law it's not right does not mean it's illegal. And you have to understand that. So that's the reason why that can be non-dairy, even though it has dairy in it. They can legally lie to you on these labels, and people are not realizing that the habits that you have are toxic. They're poisoning you with these foods. A lot of people every single day eat processed foods. They eat fast foods. They go to chain restaurants. And you don't realize that they are legally allowed to lie to you, and they will, and they do. You are a part of marketing. You are a consumer and a dollar sign to them. You are not a person. And so when they see you, they say, how can I sit here and make this person not realize that, yes, this has dairy. Yes, I'm poisoning them. Yes, I'm lying to them with these labels. I'm giving them inflammatory oils and make them crave it more because I'm giving them unhealthy fats, a whole lot of sodium, and a whole lot of processed sugars. You don't realize that that throws off your chemical balance in your brain. And when you are eating this every single day, your brain stops craving the natural foods that you should be craving. When you are doing this to your body every single day, your body sits there and starts to crave the unhealthy junk because you have programmed it to do that. The same way where you train your brain to tell your stomach to start growling at 8 a.m. because you eat at 8 a.m. every single day right on the dot. You wake up and you drink coffee, so you wonder why when you wake up you're feeding and craving a coffee, you have no energy. Hold on, let's let that plane pass by really quickly. Thanks to the follows, guys, and the likes. Okay, it's pretty much past now. And so you don't realize that you have trained your body to crave the foods that you eat. You've trained your body to literally want the unhealthy things. And so you can reprogram that and you can retrain that for yourself. It's not like it's the end of the world that this is how you are for the rest of your life. It is what it is. That whole you can't train old dog can't learn new tricks. That whole saying is keeping everybody in this same passive kind of mindset of we can't learn after a certain age. We can't change after a certain age. But then you tell teens and children that it's okay for them to eat the way that they are because they're young. It's okay for them to eat all this junk and run around and not know how to eat a real meal and not eat any vegetables, not eat any fruit, drink a whole bunch of juice because they're young. This is what you do when you're young. But then you go around and tell the same people that when you get a certain age, you're too old to learn new things. You're too old to change the ways of your lifestyle. You see that backwards mindset? Like it's butt backwards. I was going to say the A word, but I'm going to say lifestyle. You see that backwards mindset? Like it's butt backwards. I was gonna say the A word, but I'm gonna say butt. It's butt backwards. Backwards. I was gonna say the A word, but I'm gonna say butt. It's butt backwards. You can fill in the blanks from there. If you don't see the programming that they have you under from that right then and there, how else can you explain it to somebody? Because you're young, it's okay. You're gonna live through it. You'll be fine. But then when you hit late 20s, early 30s, they're telling you at that point that's your lifestyle. That's just how you're gonna be. You're not gonna lose weight. You're not gonna do this. When you hit 40s, there's no way. You should be going through crises now. You should be mentally unstable because you haven't been eating the way that you're supposed to. You should be developing diseases by 30. This is how our society is unstable because you haven't been eating the way that you're supposed to. You should be developing diseases by 30. This is how our society deems normal. This is what we deem as normal. And you can't argue diseases by 30. This is how our society deems normal. This is what we deem as normal. And you can't argue and say, well, I don't believe that because you're still doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing as possible. It's literally not possible. And you can't argue and say, well, I don't believe that because you're still doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. It's literally not possible. And so you have to understand that when you're diving deep into what these foods are doing, we are literally unaliving ourselves because we overconsume and we aren't conscious consumers. We're just eating to fill. We're just filling a void. We're too afraid to change. When we think about healthy lifestyle, we're so afraid of, oh my God, all I have was a salad every single day. That's all I'm gonna be able to eat. But I don't eat a salad every day. I'm not eating a salad today. I already have planned what I'm gonna eat. I'm not eating a salad today. You're afraid of a healthy lifestyle. You're afraid of true healing because healing comes from you actually being healthy. Healthy is not doing diet culture. And that's the problem. A lot of people sit there and they believe that diet culture is what keeps them healthy. Diet culture has led us here as a society. Everybody does diets. Everybody believes in diet culture. Everybody is sitting here doing Weight Watchers and calorie counting and doing your points. Are you healthy? For the people that have gone through these programs, if you've done one, did you keep the weight off after you got off the program? Because I know several women specifically that have gone through Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig, or they do calorie counting and restricting and Whole30s and paleo and keto. Several women, and all of them do the same thing. They go through this thing. They lose the weight. They lose maybe a couple of pounds, 5-10 pounds. They feel good. They do it for a month. They do it for 6 months. As soon as they are done with that diet, because they did not change their lifestyle, they did not change the habits that they have, they go back to the way that is normal to them, what happens? You gain the weight back. Not only do you gain the weight back, but you feel bad. You lose all the energy that you gained during that time of diet culture. And you usually gain more weight than what you did when you started. So what was the point? You lose all the energy that you gained during that time of diet culture. And you usually gain more weight than what you did when you started. So what was the point? Instead, learn how to change your lifestyle. Learn how to develop healthier lifestyle habits that allow you to stay in this healthy lifestyle. So when you do have those moments of, it's a cheat day for me, I slipped up, I ate this. Guess what? It's not end all be all because your lifestyle is not this. Your lifestyle is knowing how to take care of your body and to treat yourself correctly. It's knowing how to heal And if you do not know this, your lifestyle is knowing how to take care of your body and to treat yourself correctly. It's knowing how to heal. And if you do not know how to heal internally, so externally you can reap the benefits, then one, you need to follow me and you need to get on my page. And two, you need to start learning how to use food as your medicine. You need to understand the fact that they are projecting to make $1 trillion off of people being overweight and being diabetic. That's not separate. That is directly correlated to the same mindset of these people that are so afraid of establishing a healthy habits, healthy lifestyles. They're too busy worried about, I have to eat a salad, I'm going to struggle to be able to eat this. But they think that working out, especially for these people that are bodybuilders and they're in here telling you like you have to have meat for protein, and they're muscle heads, and they're the main ones that are telling you that this is what you need to do. But then turn around, these muscle heads, a lot of them that eat the way that they do and don't eat correctly, but they eat a whole lot of meat, they eat a whole lot of dairy, they protein to no end, are having artery issues. It maybe don't even realize it yet. Have clogged arteries. Arteries are how your heart functions. I know several stories about these bodybuilders. I call them meatheads because they really are. Like, it's like you see them and they're just like big. Like their head's just big. They're just big, bulky meatheads. A lot of them have heart attacks. A lot of them have heart-related issues. A lot of them have high blood pressure. They don't tell you that though. And so y'all are sitting here being fed the facade of the fact that they're healthy. This is how you're healthy. You go to the gym, you do all these workouts, you eat these proteins from meat, you take your dairy, you take these supplements, you do these protein powders, you take this creatine, and you're sitting there thinking that this is how you are healthy, and everybody's doing the same thing but expecting different results when it's all leading down the same path of developing diseases and illnesses, because you're not healing. You're just managing. You're just managing the lifestyle of having diseases, having illnesses, passing generation to generation of not knowing how to take care of your body. If you have kids and you are sitting here eating dairy and meats and you're not showing them how to eat correctly to heal their body because you've never been taught how to heal your body, think about how the fact that it's not the disease running in your family. It's everybody doing the same thing because nobody's changing their habits. Everybody eats the same way, but expects somehow that disease is going to skip over them in this generation. The cycle is literally speaking for itself. It's a cycle of chaos. It's a cycle of toxic foods, toxicity in the body, which leads you to diseases. It's an endless cycle of everybody doing the same thing but expecting different results. When you look at society, we are sitting here dealing with a whole bunch of insane people. Like, truly, we're malnourished. We're sitting here suffering when it comes to eating so much junk but not eating enough nutrients. Our brains are chemically imbalanced. If you don't realize this, when your body is sitting there in fight or flight mode every single day because you're not getting the nutrients that you need from food, that's how you become anxious. Not the only reason, but that's how you become anxious and you can't figure out why. That's the reason why you start having panic attacks and you can't pinpoint where this is coming from. That's the reason why you're sitting there in and out of depression episodes and you're like, how in the world am I depressed? Because I've been having a good time. That whole feeling of you feel like 1 minute you're having a good time and you can only have a couple of days and then the next minute you're in that depression. I used to go through that. And you know why? Because I was never eating correctly. My body was saying, oh, you give me a little bit, but you expect a whole lot. Because I eat a little bit of fruit, a little bit of vegetables, and expect my body to run off of that as fuel. Eat a whole lot of meat, a whole lot of dairy, because I loved milk. And then expecting my body to not be in panic mode. So yeah, that's the reason why I was in and out of depression episodes. I was having panic attacks on a regular, anxiety out of the roof every single day. Because you're not realizing the fact that you don't need a protein powder. You don't need vitamins. You don't need these probiotics. You don't need all this extra stuff that is not coming from actual food. If you are taking anything outside of actually using food as your medicine before you start learning how to eat correctly, you're wasting your time and your money because you don't realize the fact that, like, when you are sitting here putting all this junk in but not changing the unhealthy habits that have led you here, all you're doing is masking it like you use a Band-Aid over a cut. Yes, it's going to keep it covered, but it's not going to help it heal. The only way for you to help that thing heal is for you to leave it alone and let it do what it's supposed to do. You leaving your body and leaving your body alone and letting it do what it's supposed to do is you eating what comes from the earth. That's how you leave your body alone to let it reset itself. That's how you leave your body alone and allow it to be like, oh, okay, I'm actually getting nutrients, and see how that helps. But a lot of people are too busy sitting here arguing about the fact that you won't get all the essential nutrients that you need. Are you getting all the essential nutrients that you need right now, currently? Like, plenty of people come to me talking about the fact that I won't get all the essential nutrients, but I've been in this lifestyle for 4 years. Not once have I had any provider that I go to, far as healthcare, dental work, anything, come to me and tell me I'm deficient in any way, shape, or form. And I've been plant-based for 4 years. But you go to the doctor, they give you the rundown, ask you what you've been doing. You don't tell them that you've changed anything. And all they tell you is, oh, okay. They might tell you to change this a little bit. They might tell you that, oh, you need to get more iron. Oh, you might be, anemic or whatever. But then when you come back in 10 plus years, they're going to turn around and they're going to tell you developed all these diseases. So how does that work that you've been getting all your essential nutrients all of your life through what you've been doing, but somehow you develop a disease? If disease can only thrive in the body that has all this toxicity in it. Because you've been toxic for years on end and you've been lied to. Come on. Like, make it make sense. Thanks for the follows. Like, really sit here and make it make sense. For these people that keep arguing about the fact that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, I'm missing out on essential nutrients, I'm missing out on key vitamins and minerals. How do these same people that everybody's been doing the same thing develop diseases in 10 plus years if you're getting everything that you need for your body to be healing and healthy? Diet does not work. You have to change your lifestyle. Diets are momentary. Diets are temporary. Diets is keeping your body in this fight or flight mode of, oh, I'm going to eat a little healthy and then I'm going to go back to doing whatever I want to do. That's not going to work. You have to completely reincorporate what you should be doing from the beginning. You should be sitting there realizing the fact that they have taught us and programmed us to believe in the facade of, I can go and eat pig products early in the AM. I can get this sugary orange juice that has literally no natural oranges in it, but actually just has a bunch of chemicals in it. Throw in these eggs that give me high blood pressure, because eggs give you high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And then sit here and be like, you know what? That should fuel me for the rest of my day, right? And then you wonder why you eat this at 8:30 and by 10 p.m. you're ready to take a nap. Like, come on, 30 minutes after you're feeling the itis, it's because you've spiked your insulin so much that your body's expelling way too much sugar. And so the only thing they can sit there and do is go to sleep. That's what happens when people have diabetes. When people with diabetes eat too much sugar, they go into, like, how they say it's a diabetic coma. It's a mini diabetic coma. That's the reason why when people have diabetes and they eat too much sugar, they have to go take a nap. That's what your body does every single day. Every time you feel the itis, that's what's happening to your body. That's exactly what's happening. And a lot of people don't realize that. And that's the reason when you feel the itis, that's what's happening to your body. That's exactly what's happening. And a lot of people don't realize that. And that's the reason why they're projecting to make $1 trillion off of us being diabetic and obese. That's the reason why they can project to make $1 trillion off of you. Because they're not going to make $1 trillion off of me. People are in and out of the hospital wondering how this has happened. Wondering why they're insulin resistant. Why they have PCOS and fibroids. You're eating too much crap. You're eating too much sugar, especially. And it's non-natural sugars at that. But you're expecting different results because your grandma did the same thing. Your great-grandma did the same thing. Your grandpa did the same thing. Your mother and your father did the same thing. Just because somebody looks healthy does not mean they're healthy internally. I was just talking to somebody, literally right before I got on live, that was talking about the fact that somebody was doing one of those challenges on YouTube. That this burger was this big, legit. It was big as his head. It was one of those challenges where you stack all the burgers on top of each other and you eat them all in one. And was talking about how healthy, or not, how skinny he was. And I was like, okay, but you do realize, like, that clogs your arteries. And he was like, that's why he takes a 6 months break in between of however long he does this. And I'm like, 6 months is not going to reset your body from all the crap that you've been putting into it. And skinny does not mean that you are healthy. Like, really break it down. Skinny does not equal health. There are plenty of skinny people out here that I know, have witnessed, and talked to. Some of them are my used to be my friends. I'm not really friends with a whole lot of people that eat a bunch of crap now, because it's like, not saying that I can't be friends with them, because I'm friends with people who eat meat and dairy and everything else still. But there's a lot of people that I just cannot get with you poisoning your body and knowing that it's poison and still complaining. I'm not even friends with a lot of vegans that I know that eat a bunch of crap still. Because yes, you don't eat meat and dairy, but you still put a bunch of processed crap in your body knowing that it's not good for you. But argue you want to save the animals. It's insanity. You have to have the mental knowing that it's not good for you. But argue you want to save the animals. It's insanity. You have to have the mental, what is it? I'm trying to think of it. Maturity to really have a conversation and sit down and talk about these things. What is it? I'm trying to think of it. Maturity to really have a conversation and sit down and talk about these things if you don't live the same lifestyle. Because I have a lot of people that want to come to me and argue their opinion. If you don't live the same lifestyle. Because I have a lot of people that want to come to me and argue their opinion. And I'm not here to argue opinion. You can accept with you, but you won't ever have a conversation with me again, because I see that you don't have the maturity that you need. Because that's what I talk to a lot of people that eat meat and dairy, a lot of people that still eat processed foods, and they can accept the fact that yes, they're doing wrong. And I'm not here to judge you. The only time I'm ever judging is when you have all the opinions in the world to give, but you have no facts. When the only time that I'm judging is when I offer to give you the education because you've come to me with your opinion, and I give you the open, honest answer of that's not correct, and let me tell you how, and then give you all the scientific journals, and you want to come back and argue, or you don't even say anything back. That's when I judge, because I'm like, you came here to try to speak some opinion over fact, because you're so uneducated and you're so brainwashed that you don't even care about the actual facts that have telling you that you have been lied to all of your life. Telling you that the fact that when you get outside of the U.S., nobody eats the way that we do. When you get outside the U.S. and you look at these scientific journals, you look at these studies, they're telling us right then and there that they are poisoning us. The fact that the UK has now banned marketing for processed foods towards children says a whole lot. My wonderful coach was talking about earlier today on live the fact that when she remembers when she was a child, how there used to be a whole thing about them not marketing to children unless it was toys around the time of Christmas. And it was usually only like Toys R Us. I remember when I was a child, you only had child-related marketing for like Toys R Us, Hot Wheels. We had like Walmart toys. We never had food. Unless it was like them making easy bake ovens. That was the only marketing that I ever remember was easy bake ovens. Now they're marketing to kids on McDonald's commercials. They do jingles towards kids. They're marketing all these processed foods towards kids. They show the happy family dynamic, not because it makes you feel good, but because it makes children feel good. Like, you really have to sit there and put that in your brain, because these pretty happy colors are not here to aesthetically please you. It's to attract that child. So when they are your age, at this point, it's just like you. You walk past the TV and you don't think anything about it. They have been programmed just like you have been programmed since the time that they were born. That's the reason why your child is so addicted to an iPad when you give it to them. There are children that don't ever pick up an electronic, but as soon as you give them an iPad, within the first couple of minutes of them using it, they know how to fully function that thing and get on YouTube. Pull up somebody eating a mukbang. Pull up some child eating something. There's a reason why. There's an agenda against food, and you're not realizing that it's because they're so programmed to tell you how to poison yourself, but not here to tell you how to take care of your body. Getting hot in here. Let me roll these windows down. They have an agenda against you, your children, the future generations, the older generations. They already have them. The only way for you to break away from this programming is to realize the fact that you have to renew your mind daily, constantly. Just like it says in Romans 12:2, that you should not be conformed to this world, but you should be renewing your mind so that you can view what is perfect and justified by the Lord himself, the Most High himself. That you can view what he views as perfect, what he views for his people, what he views as good. Because we love to say, which it's so funny, because I was listening to somebody talking about the fact that how is good never good enough for us anymore. that the Most High said all throughout the Bible, it is good. But we have to say, oh, I'm having a great day. Oh, it's going great. But when you talk about good, everybody thinks like, oh, she's just good. It's something wrong. Like, really sit there and think about it. Like, it's funny because we're programmed to not believe in what we're actually supposed to be believing in. We're programmed to change our actual natural dynamic. And so it's like, why are people sitting here eating foods that they know that is toxic to them and then pushing this on to other people? Why are people sitting here raising kids that don't know how to take care of their body? Raising children that don't understand their body is a healing vessel, don't even understand the natural design of their body. Like, let's really break it down, because children are so intuitive. We love to say all the time how kids are so smart. It's so sad. We love to talk about the fact that kids are so smart. So why do you think that child cannot understand how to take care of their body correctly and eat correctly? But you tell them, you're young. It's okay for you to eat this way. You're young. You'll learn how to eat eventually. My niece and my nephew can go to people who eat meat and dairy, who eat processed foods that are not good, and they can go to them and they literally will walk up to them. You know how kids are. They're relentless. They don't care. They have no filter. They will walk straight up to them and tell them, that poisons you. That's not healthy. You should eat this. I eat this because it gives me all my proteins. I love my chickpeas because it gives me my proteins. They'll walk up to you and tell you, you don't need dairy for calcium. You know, you can drink almond milk for that. You should be getting more out on the sun. Then you won't have to worry about you getting your vitamin D. But you also need your oranges for your vitamin C. You need this for fiber. This is a 5 and a 4-year-old talking to you. At the time that I'm thinking of, the time that I had witnessed and heard him say this, it was a 3 and a 4-year-old. That's all I have to say. We love to talk about how kids are so smart until they cross the boundary of telling you something that you know is correct, but you don't want to hear it. Your elders are not your biggest enemy, because you should not be letting somebody who is at the generation of programming control what is going on. That's why I don't like the fact that everybody that is above us, as far as like these officials, are in the previous generations that have led us here now. They're not our biggest downfall. The problem is the fact that we are too busy trying to argue with them when they are programmed into this. The whole old dogs can't learn new tricks mentality has led them there, and we're trying to argue with them. You can't argue with insanity. You can't argue with the people that don't want to listen. How you show the way so that you're not arguing, because that's why I said I don't argue on my page. I don't argue with people. How you show the way and pave the way for change is for you to do it yourself first. You don't have to say anything else. I don't have to say much. For the people that are around me, that actually know me, that are in my life, I don't have to say much. They come to me asking me questions. When they have something going on, or for a lot of people in my family that are getting pregnant, they come to me and start asking me, how do I naturally be able to produce milk so I can breastfeed? How do I start making food for my kids? How do I start showing them X, Y, and Z? They come to me. I don't have to say anything. I don't have to offer anything. I don't have to do the most. I don't have to freak out. I don't have to bring out scientific journals. Because they see the health that I'm under. They see the change that has happened to my body, has changed to my mindset, the way that the clarity has given. Thank you for the follow. It's all the matter of you knowing how to do it for yourself, what to do for yourself, and why you're doing it. Because when I first started this lifestyle, my mindset was, why in the world am I suffering? And how do I stop it? And I prayed and I asked. We're all adults here, correct? Like, we're all supposed to be 18 plus in lives. Well, I don't think I marked this as 18 plus, but we're supposed to be adults. Even my niece was talking about the fact, because she just turned, well, not just turned 17, but she's 17. She was talking about when she was, I think, 15 or 16, how her mom wouldn't cook for her, obviously, but she would love to go plant-based. And I told her that if you really want to establish this for yourself, because she had a job and everything else, I was like, you could talk to your mom about simply just starting to buy you groceries, and I can help you start to understand how to cook for yourself. Like, it's super easy, it's super simple. She comes down here almost every summer. I was like, when you come down here, if you want to start learning how to cook, we can start learning how to cook different things. And so it's the matter of the fact of what you want for yourself. Just sitting there saying that you can't change your situation for a lot of people because people are in situations that they don't enjoy. I have situations that I don't enjoy, but I don't sit there and complain about it and say I can't change it when I know I can. I actively sow the seeds every single day to change the situation that I'm in. I actively sow the seeds to get away from, if I don't want to drive X, Y, and Z here anymore, I sow the seed of I'm not going to drive that direction anymore. I sowed the seed for, I think since 2020, it was over a year and a half of sowing the seed of figuring out how I could change my lifestyle so I could eat healthier. It's all the matter of what you want for yourself. It's all the matter of getting away from what other people's mindset is, what other people's views are, you fearing judgment, you fearing what they're going to say. Realize that nobody else can determine what's going to happen in your life, what is going to happen to you, what is going to go for you, unless you are not depending on the Most High, because then he gives you to the enemy. And that's scripture. If you were depending on the Most High and what he has for you, and knowing that you are sowing the seeds correctly, because faith without works is dead. But if you have faith and you are sowing the correct seeds and you know that he's taking care of you, he's not going to give you over to the enemy. So there's nothing for you to fear. But when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, that's when fear comes in. That's when doubt comes in. That's why you're anxious. That's why you're having panic attacks, because you're not depending on him and you're too busy worried about what the world can do to you, instead of worrying about what the world can do for you, because the Most High put you here for this world. Put the world here for you. The world was here, yes. He established the earth, yes, before people. But he put this physical earth here for you to enjoy, for you. So if you're not enjoying it and you're stressed out and anxious about it, what seeds have you sown that has led you to anxiousness? Because you're sowing seeds, regardless if you realize it. I was sowing seeds of being unhealthy. I was sowing seeds of struggle. I was sowing seeds of being anxious. I was sowing the seeds for being depressed. I was sowing seeds for being, having panic attacks. I was sowing all the seeds for me to be unhealthy. I was sowing the seeds to lead me down insulin resistance. I sowed the seeds in my life at a very young age to develop asthma in high school, because I was following the same tracks of what my parents told me. So when I finally broke free from that, when I was sitting there having all these issues at 18 and 19, when I was in college, and I was sitting there saying like, this isn't right. And then when I hit in 2020, when I was at home and I had plenty of time to sit there and talk to the Most High, be away from other people, not have to worry about the day-to-day stress. And I sat there and said to him, now how does this happen when nobody in my family has asthma? How does this happen, and why has it happened to me? When I'm actually genuinely asking. And I called out to him and I said, I've asked you many, many times of why I'm anxious and I'm not getting answers. And he started to show me, it's because of the foods that you eat. It's because of the way that you consume. And when he showed that to me, I didn't go plant-based right away. I'm going to let you know that now. I didn't just switch. But he started to show me how to slowly stop eating the crap that I was eating. Slowly stop eating hot chips. Slowly stop doing all these different things. And so then, by October of 2021, I started to really implement it and I started to change. And the first 3 months was a struggle. I categorized myself as vegan. I was eating vegan products. I was struggling as far as going all these obstacles, trying to figure this out because I was doing it on my own. But after those 3 months of me thinking that I was vegan and I actually went to plant-based and started to understand plant-based lifestyle and healing, that's the life that I have lived. And now here I am 4 years in. 4 years into it. And I have realized the fact that I never knew how to take care of my body until then. Majority of society does not take care of their body. You can be as fit, as buff, as whatever as you think that you are on the outside. But if you are not using food as your medicine, you're not healthy. You have to break free from the toxicity of this foods that you were eating. I don't know what kind of bug that was, but it was trying to get in here. It's all the matter of fact, what are you going to do and what do you want to do for yourself? I've made several videos and I've had a lot of talking about the difference between plant-based and vegan. I'm not going to dive into it deeply, but I'll just say the fact that vegan products do not support you. A lot of vegan products, just like how we talked about, it cut off the live, so a lot of people didn't get to see, and it after that did not bring anybody else in, so I had to cut it off. But I just went to the store. They have non-dairy products. They have vegan products. All of these things are labeling and marketing. They have all of this vegan and non-dairy and all this stuff on these products, but it's marketing and it's not actually healthy. When you flip it around and you look at the ingredients, vegan products have a bunch of processed foods. They have, processed ingredients. They have soy. They have all of this junk in it that does not need to be there. A lot of products in the store that are processed have junk that don't need to be there. They can put non-dairy on the label and still have dairy in it. And I'm posting a video, it'll be posted on Friday, that's literally showing you how they do this, because I just went to the grocery store yesterday and found our product to perfectly show you how they lie to you. And so I stopped following the whole vegan. I've stopped following all of that and started to realize that plant-based is me eating my fruits and my vegetables and learning how to make plant-based meals. I don't have to sit here and eat raw. I don't have to sit here and worry about what alkaline fruits and vegetables that I'm eating. I don't have to sit here and suffer and not eat the foods that I want to eat and still be healthy. Because I still love to make me a steak, a burger, or whatever else. I just make it plant-based. I don't have to go and get these. I've never eaten a Beyond Burger and Impossible Burger, first of all. I've never eaten anything beyond Impossible. But I don't have to go and get, like, I think it's called like Ghirardelli or all these other different like black bean burgers that are in the frozen section. I prep and I make it myself. Just like how you go to Walmart and you see those frozen patties that are in between the parchment paper that you can get in the bag for like 10 of them or for however much. I prep mine and put them in the freezer the same way that you do at the grocery store. Just put parchment paper in between the black bean burgers and boom. I have a full supply of black bean burgers for when I don't want to cook, when I'm feeling lazy, when I'm hurting or whatever else. Because let's say that I've had my menstrual cycle, I've eaten too much sugar, oh, I'm not feeling good. I'm not just going to be like, oh, let me just eat a bunch of junk. No, I say let me use food as my medicine so then I don't put my body in more of a stressed out state than it already is. Because I used to have terrible, painful menstrual cycles. When in the beginning, when I was getting off my medications, I was struggling so bad because I was still learning. But I wanted to be off medications. I wanted to start healing. And my menstrual cycle had not regulated itself. My stomach was killing me. But I was so determined to get off medications. I didn't know what herbs to use then. I was learning. I was still getting into it. But food as my medicine was my first goal. If you're using herbs currently, or you're taking any tinctures or supplements or powders, and you're not using food as your medicine, you're wasting your time and your money. Because they're not as potent as they would be if you were using food correctly. I hate to break it to you and tell you that, but it's fact. Because there is power in the habits that you have. You have to be consistent with what you're doing to your body. Because when I'm not consistent, for me, eating processed sugars or eating a bunch of sugar in general, I see the difference in my body. My skin suffers. I start to have cramps before our menstrual cycle when I don't have cramps anymore. Women are out here being told by their doctors that it's normal for you to have 7-day, 8-day, 10-day cycles. Your doctor is telling you that it's normal for you to be sitting here just suffering and struggling every single menstrual cycle. They're telling you it's normal that now that people are having fibroids and cysts earlier and earlier for you to start your menstrual cycle before the age of 12. That is not normal. It's not normal for us to have all these infertility issues. It's not normal for these young girls to be sitting here starting their cycle, because I worked at the Boys and Girls Club. I had a child right in front of me in my group at the age of, I really want to say she was definitely not over 7. I feel like she was 6, maybe even 5, and she started her menstrual cycle. That's not normal. And I wanted to cry so bad for that baby. And I wasn't even plant-based then. I didn't even know what all that I know now then. And I wanted to cry for that baby, thinking, yes, she was 5, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, you're not even in double digits. And you're sitting there with a menstrual cycle at 5 years old. You're going to have to be dealing with a cycle for at least 40 plus years of your life. You didn't even get your childhood. You know why? Because that's what happens when you're so hormonally imbalanced from the foods that you eat. When you eat a whole bunch of meat and you're eating a whole bunch of dairy, regardless if they tell you it has added hormones or not, that stuff has hormones in it. Because just like your body produces its own hormones, just like these plants out here produce hormones. That meat comes from an animal. That dairy comes from an animal. They produce hormones. That pregnant cow that gave you that milk has hormones in it, because that's how a baby gets its nutrients. Yes, they didn't have to add the hormones in it because it already had hormones in it. Like, really sit there and put 2 and 2 together, make the connections. That's how the baby gets its nutrients. It has hormones in it. That's the reason why when you are breastfeeding as a woman and you get sick, your milk changes colors when your baby is sick. Usually it's a creamier, more yellowy, milky color. Sometimes it can be green. It's because your body senses that your baby needs something. But these calves, these calves are taken away from their mother, so they never get to breastfeed. So can you think about the stress that their body goes through, the hormones that their body is releasing, trying to figure out where the baby is and why it's not milking, why it's not sitting there drinking its mother's milk? Can you imagine the stress that body is going through? If you are a woman and you're dealing with painful menstrual cycles, think about all the hormonal imbalances that you have going on that is leading you here, that is making you have painful menstrual cycles, that is making you having PMS symptoms. If you have fibroids and cysts, that's from sugar. That's from your overtake of these processed foods that have too much sugar in it. How much sugar are you eating on the regular basis? Processed sugar, not natural sugar from fruits, processed sugar. People are not realizing that you have to start taking action because we're not getting any better. That's the reason why they're projecting by 2030 that they're going to make $1 trillion off of you being obese and diabetic. So before I close, I say this, that you have to start healing today. If you start learning how to heal yourself today, by 2025, you can not only be in a better situation and healing your body from the inside out, but you can also start sustaining your lifestyle. So by the time that 2026 happens, you won't be worried about how it's going downhill because it's already going downhill. We see the signs. The earth is speaking to you. That's the reason why. That's the reason why we're having these back-to-back hurricanes. This whole, it's hurricane season and everybody's just dismissing that. These animals have been breaching themselves for years. Deep sea water animals are coming up to the surface unaliving themselves on purpose. Whales are breaching themselves on the beach. There's a reason why that the ocean is speaking to us. The ocean life, the animals are speaking to us. It's just like your dog. If it's a yard animal or even inside the house, but the ones in the yard are running around in circles trying to let you know there's a storm coming and they're acting a fool and you're like, why is that animal acting like that? They've been speaking to you for quite a while. They've been acting fool for quite a while and you've been ignoring it. So the time for you to change is now. You don't have to sit here and make big, humongous changes to your life right now, right here overnight. It's the small little changes that are going to lead you to the big success that you need and you deserve before 2030, before they make this $1 trillion profit, before you're diagnosed with diabetes, before you think you have to take insulin for the rest of your life, before you develop cancer and think that you have to take chemo. Because people go to this lifestyle that I'm teaching you and I'm showing you. They go to this lifestyle and they never take chemo, they never have radiation, and they heal themselves from cancer. Something as powerful and deadly as cancer. You cannot tell me your body is not a healing vessel if they can heal themselves from cancer without radiation, without all these chemicals, without all this chemo that literally kills off every single cell inside of your body, good or bad. It all starts with you learning how to use food as your medicine. And if you are ready for a change, first of all, drop any comments that you have, any questions that you have down in the chat right now. I'll answer questions. But if you have not tapped into my plant-based cookbook, you need to go ahead and get that. It's only $25. It's linked in my bio. $25 for you to start cooking plant-based meals. And if you are ready to completely change your lifestyle, learn how to make sustainable products that are chemical-free, learn how to make foods, learn how to have the accountability and to sustain the lifestyle so you live this lifestyle for the rest of your life, you need to get into my 12-week program. Because we have, I don't know how many weeks we have left in this year, but you have plenty of time to have it and be set before 2025, before 2030. If you start now and get in my 12-week program, you will already have everything established that you need by 2030. You won't even be glancing at this $1 trillion profit that they're making because you're not adding any of your hard-earned money into it. If you are ready to tap into it and you are sitting here like, well, I don't know if I can afford any of this, $25 is a little steep for me right now, you can get a Klarna Affirm or Afterpay. People are putting groceries, they're putting clothes on Klarna Affirm and Afterpay. You can tap into it, change your lifestyle, and you won't even have to be sitting here spending all this money that you're going to have to spend when you develop diseases. Because let's really sit there and think about it. You're worried about how much you're going to spend right now currently, but you're not thinking about how much you're going to have to spend later on because you develop diseases. You're not thinking about how much you're going to have to spend because you develop chemo and you still want to live because you have grandchildren to live for. I say you develop chemo. You develop cancer and have to do chemo, excuse me. You're not thinking about how much money you're gonna have to spend going back and forth getting this insulin resistance. It didn't come. Did it not deliver to you? I emailed it to you. Did you not get it? Did you not get it? Thank you for the follows, guys. Did you not get it? I emailed it to you. Thank you for the follows, guys. Drop your questions in the comment if you have any questions. No, it's an ebook. I'm so sorry I didn't clarify that. No, it's an ebook. It's an ebook. Yes, it should be in your email. Please let me know if you have it and you can open it and everything. It should be in your email already there. Yes, that's why I say, like, there should be, like, no issue with you getting your products. Like, it's formed as a book so you can print it out for yourself. Yes, because the whole, like, shipping process and everything, I want everybody to be able to get this information. Like, this is crucial. I don't want anybody to be held up for the information that they need. That's why I said, like, changing the start today. So yes, sorry. I'm so sorry I did not clarify that. I'm so sorry. It is an ebook. It is an ebook. My products and services are all ebook related. All the books that I have, everything that even the program, you do not have to live in my state or travel or anything like that. The program will be all online. We will be doing our meetings on Zoom. We will be doing everything online. That's why I say that, like, during our program, we have a chat system where you can access me at any time. It's like Snapchat, but it's not going to be on Snapchat. It's just going to be for our group so that you have access to me to ask me questions at any time. Because I reach audiences all over. We're on TikTok. TikTok reaches all over. And so it's more difficult to have, you know, a program without having to travel, if you get what I'm saying. And so this is something that's all online related. And so yes, please check your email and let me know. And if you do not have it, DM me so I can, my nose, so I can send it to you in a different form, because I have it where you can link it and then download it, where it's linked and then you can download it. And I'm gonna be sending you a follow-up. I don't know if she's still in here, but if you are, I'm gonna be sending you a follow-up shortly after. I was gonna send it to you today, but since I know that you didn't get the book, I'm gonna wait so I can get your opinion and see how you're feeling and see how it's all laid out and see if it's worked for you. And if it hasn't, then I would love honest feedback so then I can help you incorporate different things into it and to add different things into it. But if you have honest feedback, so then I can help you incorporate different things into it and to add different things into it. But if you have, my phone's telling me I'm on 20%, but all of those recipes that is in that ebook, that is in that plant-based cookbook, that has allowed me to start my transition, start my lifestyle, and sustain it the way that I have. All of those are beginner-friendly recipes. Even if you are not necessarily in the lifestyle, or if you are in the lifestyle, but if you're not in the lifestyle and you're not comfortable, they're beginner-friendly for people who don't even cook. Like my friend who I showed how to cook plant-based was not a cooking person. She was not in the kitchen. She didn't know how to cook much. She learned how to cook easily with the recipes that I showed her in that book. And so I want you to understand that even if you are in the lifestyle, it's also inspiration, just for you to know and have, like, okay, back pocket meals, if that makes sense. Things for you just to whip out and be like, oh, this is simple, super easy for me to cook. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to hop off of here. But if you have any questions, drop them down, please. Please. I'm so grateful that she said something, because I would have been so sad if she would have waited any longer for it, because I emailed it to her as soon as I saw the purchases come through. And for anybody that's in here as well, as soon as you purchase now, can you resend it? Yes, I can. I will resend it as soon as I get off. Of course I can. Yes, because it should have popped up. It should be Kendra, and then it should say plant-based lifestyle strategist as the sender, and it should have came. So if it didn't send, I will resend it to you, because now I have a flow desk going to automatically send it out to anybody that purchases and ready today. Yes, it will automatically send. Sometimes it doesn't send to the people that aren't already on the email list, so it didn't register your email probably, and I need to send it again. I just need to, like, force it to send it, if that makes sense. But yes, I will send it again to you. And like I said, it's just a link for you to download it, and then you can download it and you can print it out or whatever. Or you can just keep it online. I keep a lot of my things online. I use, like, GoodNotes. But yes, everything that I have on there is an ebook, and I'm so sorry for the confusion. But I'm not seeing any questions, guys. So I guess I'm gonna hop off of here. I'm debating if I'm going to, I kind of want, there's like a biscuit bake at this, my favorite place, and I kind of want a biscuit. So I'm thinking about going to get a biscuit bake. But I am going to be sending you, I never got clarification of how to pronounce your name, if it was Terrian or Terrion or how I say it. I said Terrian last time, but I don't know exactly how to pronounce your name. But I will be sending you a follow-up to see how you're feeling about the book and getting feedback. So, is it Terrian? Did I say it right? I don't know if I said it right, but I'm going to be sending you a follow-up to get your opinion and to see if you feel supported. So look out for that too. So no, it's not right. I'm sorry. So it's Terrion, Terrion. I'm trying to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm trying. Because it does, like, you know how things look differently, so you try to figure out. But I will be sending you a follow because I want to know your opinion. No, it's right. Oh, it was right. Okay. I want to make sure. So I'm not seeing any questions. So I guess I'm going to hop off of here. But I will send you that right now. But I hope everybody has an amazing day. If you have missed this live and you want to catch the full live, it will be posted on my YouTube. I think I have one scheduled for tomorrow, so this will be posted next week. We post Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe over there. And if you have not followed me on my email list, go ahead and get on my email list. I don't have Wi-Fi right now. I forgot, so I'm gonna have to do it in a minute when I get off because I don't want to forget. But yeah, get on my email list so you know when I go live. 1, 2, you get all of our wellness updates because we do Wellness Wednesday. All the updates happen on Wednesday, as far as what I know, any tips that I have, anything like that. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. If you have not followed me already, go follow me so you get more tips. You know